Right. Good morning, everybody. So good to see you all. Hello, everyone tuning in at home. Let's see who we got real quick. Jen, good to see you, Jen, Beth, Kevin, Mike, and Jill. Good to see everybody tuning in from home. So today we're going to be using a block and a strap, or you'll have an opportunity to use a block and your strap in practice. If you don't have those things, you can grab some over by the prop area if you're in the studio. If you are practicing at home, you could grab it. Oh, thank you. This is probably Jillian. Oh, no, Gracie. Hey, Gracie. All right, so you're coming in perfect time for the spiel, Gracie. I'm sorry, they're right by in front of the screen here. Yeah, so you can take your time to get what you need. It's a block and a strap. Those of you who are at home, if you don't have like a traditional yoga block or strap, you could use a pillow would work for the block for how we're using it today, and something like the belt to a robe or like even the kind of a belt that holds your pants up, that would work at home as well if you have those things. So we're mostly settled. My name's Kelly. I'll be taking you through 60 minutes of journey into power this morning. We're going to play with it a little bit. I might adjust some of the poses in the sequence just a touch, but mostly we're going to stick with it. And by the time we're done, you'll be walking out feeling fresh and revitalized and ready for your, what day is it? Tuesday. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Child's pose. Good. And as always, as you're moving through the practice, we'll be playing and you'll be invited to do stuff. And numero uno, listen to your body. Modify as you need to. Rest as you need to. This pose, child's pose, is a great rest pose if you find yourself needing that as we get moving. For now, take a deep breath in through your nose and let a sigh come out through your mouth. Take a couple more breaths like that. Use your sighs to settle into the space this morning. And when you feel settled enough, you'll seal your lips, breathe in and out through your nose, and create your 4-part breath. Really good. Take one more breath here. Use that breath just to fully land on this space, this mat, this morning, and then lift up to downward facing dog. You'll continue to develop your breath as you move through the practice. Here, I can already see a lot of you in studio start bending, bend one knee, bend the other knee, move around, move your feet around. Just get a real honest feel for where your body is this morning. And then from that space, set up your downward facing dog. A long foundation, a wide foundation. Turn your hands so that your index fingers point forward. It's like Daniel, turn your hands left and right. Rotate your hands out to the sides a little bit more, kind of like this. Yeah, and so your index fingers point forward. Drop your head, look at your feet. Set your feet up at 12 o'clock so your heels are right behind your middle 3 toes. Your heels disappear behind your toes. Now press your 10 fingertips deep down into the floor. Press your big toe mounds deep down into the floor and stretch your seat up and back. And take those deep breaths right here. Relax your shoulders as much as you can while keeping the press back from your hands to your hips. We're going to take one more breath. Press way back, breathe out, and then walk your feet up to the top of your mat. Feet hip width. Inhale, lift halfway up. Hands to your shins. Press your seat back, lengthen your crown forward. And then exhale, ragdoll pose. Upside down letter U shape with your spine. Keep your eyes open. Eyes open, and as your eyes set to a point, get plugged in through your feet. So you're shifting right here automatically your relationship between your feet and the floor. You'll do that by spreading your toes out on the mat. Sit your feet up at 12 o'clock parallel to one another. Good, Dan. Now press the big toe mount of each foot into the floor. Press the center of each heel down into the floor. And I know for me, to get my heels, I have to bend my knees a little bit. So be willing to bend your knees enough that your heels, you feel the reality of your heels dig down into the floor nice and deep. And then breathe there. You might start to feel a sense of aliveness up through your leg muscles, up through the pit of your belly, up through your lower back, creating some space. And then from that connection, foot to floor, take a big breath in. Blow all the air out, ground down through your feet even more, and inhale, come bounding up to stand. You'll roll up, unravel your spine, reach up, take a big breath in, maybe go up and go back. Oh, and exhale your hands to heart center, Samastitihi. Set your eyes to a point, set an intention for your practice, a powerful intention, and we'll begin with 3 ohms. Breath in. Inhale, reach up, extended mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, drape down over your legs. Then inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, plant your palms, step back, high to low push-ups. Your knees can be up or down. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, back, downward facing dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Take one more breath in. Blow all the air out. Bend your knees. Look forward. Move your feet up to your hands. And inhale, lift halfway up. And fold. Press down through your feet. Stand up. Reach your arms up. Open your fingers up. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Low push up. Take it back. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Full breath in and a full breath out. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath in. Bend your knees. Step or float, feet to your hands. Halfway lift and fold. Rise up, extended mountain pose. Fold to the floor. Halfway lift up. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Warm and awaken your body from the inside out, breath by breath. Last breath in. Bend your knees. Jump, feet to your hands. Halfway lift up and fold. Extended mountain pose. Press your feet deep down into the floor and fold. Halfway lift. Get long, low push-up. Step or float back to it. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Stay right on the edge of this pathway to waking up your body, waking up your breath. Breath in. Bend your knees, breathe out. Jump. Halfway lift up and fold. Extended mountain pose. Reach up high, fold to the floor. Halfway lift up, low push up. Hug your elbows in towards your sides. Upward facing dog, good. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths, we'll go through one more sunny. 2 more breaths. Eyes open and soft as they set to a point. Breath in. Bend your knees, breathe out. Jump. Halfway lift. Fold. Extended mountain pose. Stretch all the way up and then go back. Fold to the floor. Halfway lift up. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Reset your foundation, your hands, your feet. 2 more breaths. You know, like Angie's adjusting. She's even getting longer in her down dog, so it can be like that. Blow all the air out. Move your feet up to your hands. Halfway lift and fold. Chair pose. Bend your knees, sit your hips way back. Fold to the floor. Halfway lift. Low push-up. Up dog. Downward facing dog, right side warrior one. Step your right foot to your right thumb, spin your back heel flat, hands to the floor, low push up. Up dog, down dog, left side warrior one. Step, take a full breath in, stretch, hands to the floor, low push up, blow all the air out. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Breathe in together. Breathe out together. Breathe in, breathe out. Here's your last breath in. Bend your knees, move feet to hands. Halfway lift up, fold. Chair pose, sit back, forward fold. Halfway lift up, low push up. Get right there. Upward facing dog, good. Downward facing dog, right side warrior one. With the inhale, reach up, maybe look up, hands to the floor, low push up. Just breathe and move, upward facing, down dog, left side warrior one. So get really efficient in the way that you move, low push up, hands plant, step straight back. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Good, 3 more breaths. So what's possibly waking up is how much extra gets added in. Take 2 more breaths. 1 more breath in. Bend your knees. Float. Half lift. Fold. Chair pose. Fold. Half lift. Low push up. See if you can jump right back to it. Upward facing. Downward facing dog. Right side, warrior one. A simple step. Reach up. Low push up. Up dog, down dog, left side warrior. Inhale, rise, reach up, low push up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Yeah, breathe in, open your mouth, sigh it out. 2 more breaths. Breathe in, bend your knees, float, half. Fold. Chair pose. Fold. Halfway lift. Low push up. Up dog. Down dog. Right side warrior. Lunge a little bit deeper on this side. Low push up. Up dog. Down dog. Left side warrior. Lunge a little bit deeper. Wake up your legs. Low push up. Up dog, downward facing dog. 3 breaths, 1 more Sami. 2 more breaths. Last breath in, bend your knees, jump. Half lift, fold. Chair pose, stretch your arms out, fold. Halfway lift, low push up. Upward facing dog, big breath in. Downward facing dog, right side warrior one. So get the full inhale and a full stretch, low push up. Doesn't have to be perfect. Upward facing dog, down dog, left side warrior one. It doesn't have to be perfect to be full. Full pose, low push up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths. 2 more. Now here's your last breath in. Bend your knees, blow it out, jump. Feet to your hands. Lift halfway and fold. Grab your block, stick it long between your feet, and take chair pose. So you have a long block between your feet. Yep, down on the floor, and long like the hamburger way. So like the width way long, rather than the front to back way long. Good, and then take your chair pose. Beautiful. You can reach your arms up. You can catch your hips. That's up to you. And now what you're building into here, you've got your big, your true north alignment through your feet already. Feet at 12, big toe mounds pressed down, check for that. The center of each heel presses down, check for that. Now what you're adding in is this cue that we use called outer shins in. See if you can do it in the pose. Squeeze your heels in towards the block, just your heels, and use that to gather your outer shins, which can kind of hang out, gather them up and in underneath your knees. Now keep that squeeze. Can you sit back a little bit deeper, stretch your arms up and away, and settle into that alignment. Take 2 more breaths just to settle. Can you relax a little bit? Maybe a sigh to soften. Now you're going to keep your right foot where it is. Right foot stays. Lift your left heel off the floor and pause. Keep squeezing your right heel into the block. So feel that you can do that. When I do it, my butt cheek lights up. So that's kind of like a sign that something's happening at the heel. Keep your right foot planted, and on the exhale, tap your left foot behind you. Good. Come right back up into your chair, and then tap your left foot behind you. Same one. So go back 3 more times. As you move, can you keep your right foot planted and trued up the whole time that your left foot moves? So minimal knee wiggling, minimal hip wiggling, minimal foot wiggling. Good. The next time you step back, hold it. Crescent lunge. So you're probably going to have to wiggle your foot back a little bit further to come into crescent lunge. Now press down through your front foot. Lift up through the pit of your belly. Good. And then stretch up and go back. So you're standing in your front foot. Take 1 more breath in. Lift up and stretch. Then hands to heart center. Hinge forward. And twist to the right side, crescent twist. Press your front heel down deep into the floor. Good, Missy. Press your big toe mound deep down into the floor. So you have those 2 points. Now squeeze your front heel in towards that block. You might notice as you squeeze your heel, your knee is going to give more pressure to your bottom elbow. It's giving you something to leverage off of as you twist. Take 1 more breath in. Stay for the out. Now inhale up to the crescent lunge. Keep your front knee bent. Warrior 2. Spin your back heel in and down. So you can keep your knee bent. Challenge your legs. They're strong. As you set your warrior 2, continue to squeeze your front heel towards the block. And this is isometric, meaning that nothing's really moving. It's like your heel glued to the floor is trying to move to the left edge of your mat. Good. Take a breath in. Tilt, extended side angle. Now you can have your arm inside your front ankle on that block maybe. You can even change the height of the block. Angie did that. And now squeeze both your heel and your knee in towards the center of your mat as you press your bottom arm into your leg out to the right side. Take 2 more breaths. 1 more breath in. Stretch up and through your top hands. Then 2 hands to the floor. High plank. Big toes touch in high plank. Side plank. Heels to the right. Left hand to the sky. So you're facing the same side of the room that you were just looking at. Good. You could take your top foot and stack it in front of your bottom leg. You can see Kristen's doing that. You could lift your top leg. Sailor's doing that. You could drop your bottom knee, a little extra support. Take 2 more breaths. Whichever foundation you have, ground down, lift up through your top hand, breathe in. 2 hands to the floor, low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take a full inhale. Open your mouth and sigh. Give that 1 more breath. You can just kind of feel your legs. One probably feels a little different than the other. Good. Move your feet up to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, fold. Chair pose with the block. Good. So you apply your true north alignment. Feet at 12 o'clock. Press the big toe mound of each foot down. Press the center of each heel down. And now add that element of squeezing your heels to the block to gather your outer shins in. right? Because a chair is just a chair. You got a chair. And as you apply alignment, you're now using your body and your strength to create a new relationship with your body and the floor. Take 2 more breaths and sigh to settle into that. Good. 1 more breath. Now keep your left foot and lift your right heel up. So you'll use that to shift the weight over into your left foot. Ground that foot down, breathe in, and on the exhale, you'll tap your right foot back behind you. Good. Come back up to the chair, and then tap your foot behind you. Do that 3 more times. And then do it with your breath, too. Next time you step back, hold it, crescent lunge. So you might wiggle your foot back a little further. Go until your knee is stacking over your heel. Press your front foot down. Keep that true north alignment through your front foot. And lift the front of your pelvis up towards your belly button. Now stretch up. Maybe stretch up and go back. Crescent twist to the left side. Good. Stay right over your standing foot. So right about now, there's a lot of aliveness in your front leg. Breathe more as a way of fueling what you're up to. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath in. Stay for the out. Keep your knee bent. Crescent lunge on the inhale. Keep your knee bent. Challenge yourself to drop your back heel down to warrior 2. Right? So, of course, if you have to straighten your front leg, like your leg feels like it's going to fall off, do that. But if you can keep your knee bent, do that. Good. Then take a big breath in and tilt, extended side angle. Beautiful. So as you stand in your front leg, that's like your hold you up leg. Now press your back heel down and stretch all the way up to your top arm. So from your back leg up to your top arm, that's length. That's where you add the stretch. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath from heel to hand, get as long as you can, and then 2 hands to the floor, high plank. Big toes together, side plank. Face the same side of the room that you just left. Good. Pick your leg position, probably the same thing you did on the other side. And take 4 breaths. Light up your feet. Press back through your heels. Stretch forward through the top of your head, get long. Last breath in, expand, hands to the floor, low push-up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Take a breath in, blow all the air out, look forward, jump your feet to your hands. Lift halfway up and fold to the floor. Chair pose. Block between your feet. Yeah, so we use the block like different levels of the legs, and it does something different depending on feet or shins or thighs. So here we're working with the feet in order to really get a sense of what our feet are doing and what's possible through what we do with our feet. Put in your true north alignment. Feet at 12 o'clock, big toe mounds press down. Center of each heel presses down. Now squeeze your heels into the block to gather your outer shins in. Can you sit back a little bit deeper now? Good. Bring your hands to heart center. Keep the deep C and twist to the right side. 1. Keep the same pressure down through your feet and into the block. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Chair pose, come back up. Twist to the left side. Keep the C. Right, so if you don't have the alignment, all you have is muscling. And this is going to become almost impossible to do. Instead, apply your alignment through your bones. So big toes settle, heels settle, and even the squeezing of your heels is drawing your shin bones up underneath your knees to stack. See if you can relax into the stack of your bones and your joints. Take 1 more breath in. Stay for the out. Chair pose on the inhale. See if you can keep the C and fold. Fingers to toes, forward fold. Good. Catch your big toes with your first 2 fingers. Inhale, lift halfway up. Lengthen your spine. And then pull down your upper body over your legs. Keep your eyes open, enjoy. You built a lot of heat in your legs, and now you'll notice you have this capacity to open and experience more space through your legs because of the heat you built. Good. Release your toes, step onto your hands, gorilla pose. So you can go a little bit deeper. And that might mean your feet go wider, or maybe your knees bend more. Keep your eyes open. You're putting in the work to wake up your body. Stay awake, mind, heart, body, and soul. One more breath. And then step off your hands. Crow pose at the top of your mat. Crow pose. Set your hands shoulder width. Take your knees out wide and deep up on the outside of your armpits. And then hug your feet together as though the block were between them. Squeeze your feet in. Squeeze your knees up into your arms. Pull the pit of your belly up into your body. Now 2 big breaths. One more breath in. Look forward. Exhale, shoot your legs back. Low push-up. Upward facing dog. Stretch your belly. Downward facing dog. Stretch your butt way back. One breath in. Listen close. Breathe out. Hands back to your feet. Hands back. That was like the test. Oh, we're awake. That's good. At the back of your mat, lift halfway up. Fold all the way down. And then inhale, come rolling up to stand, extended mountain pose. Reach up, stretch you at the back of your mat. And then exhale, eagle arms. Right arm comes under the left. So just the arms. Beautiful. Once your arms are wrapped, step your left foot halfway up your mat. So left foot halfway up your mat. Good. Damien, switch your legs if that works. I know, lefts and rights. It's early still. Beautiful. Set your front foot with your true north alignment cue. So 12 o'clock, big toe mound press down, center of the heel press down, and now squeeze your front heel in towards the middle of your mat. Keep that. Take a breath in, and on the exhale, lift your back foot an inch off the floor. Tap your back toe back down, and then lift your back foot up again. So you're going to do that 5 times. See if you can do it with as minimal rocking. So everyone's going to have a different amount of rocking, which is fine. But see if you can minimize that you're standing in your front leg so much that your back leg is just tapping and lifting off the floor. Good. Now the next lift, up and hold it. Hold your foot and wrap, eagle legs. Right leg goes up and over. Good. Check your front foot. Keep the pressure through your front foot. Big toe mound, sink it down. Good. Center of your heel, sink it down. Now can you squeeze your heel, the standing heel, towards the center of the mat? Take one more breath. And then step down. So you're at the middle of your mat now. Reach your arms up high. Breathe in. Exhale, eagle arms. It's your left arm that goes under. This takes a lot of waking up. Lefts, rights, arms, legs. So from here, step your right foot to the top of your mat. Right foot to the top. Okay, set up your front foot. Strong, trued up front foot. So you know the pieces, put them in. Add that element, especially of squeezing your front heel in towards the center of your mat. Now with an inhale, lift your back leg up and then tap the toe down. See if you can stay right over top of your front foot. And as I do this, I really feel my leg muscles alive and supporting. As I lift and lower my leg, as I stand on my front leg, lift your back leg up, hold it, and then wrap your left leg up and over. Good. Press your standing heel down. Squeeze your standing heel towards the middle of the mat. And then you might even feel that your knee, your right knee now, is pressing out into your left shin as you squeeze your heel in. Take one more breath. Beautiful. You're at the top of your mat now. Step down, reach up, take a fresh breath in. Hands to your hips, grab your strap, and set up standing leg raise on the right side. So now that you've got this nice, warm, ready foot, you're going to strap your right foot and extend your right leg forward. So you're using your strap. Perfect. Uncurled. Yeah, and Damien, you can even come back onto the wall with your back on the wall and use that for a little bit of stability. That's it, as you lift your leg. You can play with how high you go. Right, so standing foot, true north alignment, press down. Lifted foot at 12 o'clock. Bend your right knee enough that your right hip can hug back and settle down next to your left hip. And then breathe right there. 2 more breaths. Eyes to a point for 1 more breath. Good. Unstrap your foot, hug your knee up into your chest. You can just drop it, airplane pose. Kick your right leg for the back of the room. Check into your standing foot and apply true north as an access to creating ease in the pose. Not making the pose easy. It's very different. And bring your hands to heart center. Roll your shoulders onto your back. Half moon. Left hand to the floor or block. Right arm towards the sky. Press your big toe mound deep down into the floor and squeeze your bottom heel towards the center of your mat. 2 more breaths. Beautiful, Gracie. Take 1 more breath. Stretch all the way up and out, and then 2 feet to the floor and fold. Bend your knees. You're probably going to feel like one leg on fire and the other one's feeling pretty calm or cool or something. Grab your strap. Come all the way up to standing leg raise on the left side. So as you set this up, keep the strap pretty tight. Some of you have it really loose, and that's going to make it a lot more difficult to lift your leg up. Create tension with the strap. So you want it tight enough that when you kick, you're kicking into tension. So you'll feel that when you have that, you actually can get your leg up a lot higher without having to like pull with your arms or even pull with your hip muscles. Yeah, good. Now from there, press your standing foot down. Even soften your standing knee a little bit. Soften your lifted knee a little bit. And then breathe. You might notice it gets a lot kind of more easeful, not easy. Take 1 more breath. And then release. Hug your knee to your chest. Airplane pose. So with your knees soft, kick your leg back. So as soon as I kick back, my big toe will start to peel up. So I know I press my big toe down, and all of a sudden the whole back of my leg lights up. And then I'll squeeze my heel in, and my outer hip lights up. Now you've got everything you need. Bring your hands to heart center and move to your half moon. So keeping your big toe pressing down, use that as like your tap root to lift and open. And anytime your foot unplugs, replug your foot. 2 more breaths. Soften what you can soften. Last breath in, and 2 feet to the floor. Soften all the way down, bend your knees. You can even wag your butt out a little bit. Cool, and then grab your strap. Dancer pose. So we're going to go for King Dancer. If you need, well, I'll show it to you. If you need more support, the way to orient for this is towards the back of the room. You can lean your chest against the wall if you need support as you work with a strap. Okay, so step 1 is you'll bend your right knee, strap your right ankle, and again, have it tight enough that you have tension. So start too tight. You can always give yourself more strap if you need it. Start too tight, kick your right shin back, and it's tight enough that your arms can be straight. Okay, so if I'm out here, like I can't really catch anything. So tight enough on the sides that when you kick, there's tension on the strap, your chest moves forward, your shin moves back, and you're there. Give that a breath or 2 just to anchor your standing foot. So if your foot's dancing around, don't go to anything else. Right here, anchor your foot down. So if you're still dancing, stay here, okay? If you're feeling pretty good, the next step is the W with your arms. So your elbows will swing down and your hands go up. So here you're probably going to need more tail on the strap. Give yourself enough, but not too much. If you give too much, again, you have no tension. So this is the good kind of tension. It's the kind that holds you up. And then adjust your foot again. So now my right outer hip is really alive in order to hold this together. So if you're here and still stable, last step, turn your elbows up towards the ceiling. Good, and now breathe. Take 3 big breaths. Daniel, turn your elbows up this way. That's it. Can you swing them towards the front of the room a little bit more? And no might be it. Take 1 more breath in, and then release. Elbows down, unstrap, 2 feet to the floor. Take a big breath in, blow it out. All right, we got 1 more side. Set it up, dancer on the left. So 1 step at a time. You'll bend your left knee and hook the arch. And again, I'll demo this time with the wall. So I'll kind of go this way so you can see. If you're using a wall for support, you lean your chest against the wall. Your feet are back, maybe like 8 to 12 inches. Bend your left knee, hook the ankle, and then kick. So you have enough tight, you're wrapped up, you're choked up on the strap enough that there's tension. If you're already overhead, you're going to be there for a while, just so you know. Once you got that, then it's the W. Elbows down, hands up. So if you're using the wall, your chest stays on the wall. So the first thing I feel is now my low back is crunching a lot. So I'm going to bend my standing knee, really grab my foot, and lift the pit of my belly up to open my low back and support it. And then that last step is elbows go up. And then give that 3 big breaths. Keep pulling the pit of your belly in and up. 1 more breath in. And then exhale, reverse. Elbows down, hands back, step down. 2 feet at the top of your mat. Good, you can drop the strap. Tree pose. Right foot to your left inner thigh. I just joined the party and I'm like sweating. Right foot to your left inner thigh. Good. Press your left foot deep down into the floor and stretch your arms up towards the ceiling. Good. If you're still up for exploring a little bit, drop your right hand down to your right knee. Lift up through your left arm and side bend up and over to the right side of your mat. Good. Press your big toe down, press your heel down, reground your foot. Then can you go a little bit further? 1 more breath. And then step all the way down, switch sides. I see a lot of you that are like eking to add in those side bends into your practice. This is a good place to do it. So tree pose, left foot to your right inner thigh. Stretch your arms up. So as you press your standing foot, lift up through your pelvis, lift up all the way out for your arms, get that lift. Then left hand to your left knee. Stretch your right arm up and over to the left side. So hips will go a little bit to the right. Press your big toe mound down to stay grounded, and then up and over with your top arm. Take 1 more breath, and then come back to center. 2 feet at the top of your mat. Inhale, reach up, lift both sides of your body up through your fingers. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway up. Low push up, take it back. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Step your right foot between your hands, triangle pose. 3 breaths. 2 more. 1 more breath. Stretch all the way out. Blow the air out. Press down through your feet, stand up. Toes face the left long side of your mat. Fold. Side facing, 3 breaths. Feet on 12 o'clock. Make them parallel. Arrange them so they're parallel. Breath in. Drop your head all the way down on the breath out. And then catch your waist. Stand up. Turn forward. Reverse namaste. Front facing forward fold. Front foot at 12 o'clock. And the closer and more consistently you can get your foot to align this way, the more even your leg musculature becomes. You're creating balance through your body. Drop your hands, twisting triangle pose. Left hand to the earth, right hand to the sky. Press your standing foot deep down into the floor, big toe mound, center of the heel. Squeeze your front heel in towards center. If you want to play, lift your back heel up. So you just get on the big toe. Still feeling good? Can you lift your back leg all the way up and add balance? Nice, Marty. Now really press your heel. Standing heel down, big toe mound down. Hug your heel into the center. Breath in. Marty and everyone breathe out. Foot down, hands down, step back, downward facing dog. Take one breath in. Blow it out. Left foot up to the top of your mat. Triangle pose. 3 breaths. It's always cool, I find, after balancing, my feet feel way more grounded as we hit this part of the practice. I feel like that's part of why it's called grounding. You just have more access already. Breath in. Breath out. Stand all the way up. 10 toes face the right long side of your mat. Fold. Side facing, wide-legged forward fold. Take whatever movement you need. 3 breaths. And drop your head all the way down. Breathe in. Catch your waist. Breathe out. And then inhale, stand all the way up. Turn to the front. Reverse namaste. Front facing forward fold. Catch your bind or catch your hips and fold over your front leg. You need to keep your eyes on your front foot. See that you have 12 o'clock. See that your toes are spread. See that your big toe presses down, your heel presses down, and your heel's hugging in with your outer shin. And for me, I see I need a pedicure, but that is beside the point. Take a breath in, drop your hands, and then add the twist. You can keep looking down at your front foot, see that connection, play with lifting your back heel up, see your front foot, keep it trued up, and then lift your back leg up. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath in. Stay for the out. Hands to the floor, step back, downward facing dog. Big breath. Clear it. Slide out to high plank and lower all the way down to the floor. Good. Locust. Stretch your arms back. Flip your palms down. Flex your feet, tuck your toes into the mat. So keep your toes tucked. Now with the inhale, lift up. Keep your toes tucked into the mat. Yeah, so for this first one, your feet will stay on the floor like that. Yep. Now, big toe mounds, can you press them down to the floor? They may not touch, but you kind of have that pressure. Heels, press them towards the back of the room. Now squeeze your heels in towards center like that. Just feel how it kind of sets your pelvis up in a way. Take 1 more breath, get long, and lower all the way down to the floor. Get a breath in. And a breath out, and then set it up. Locust number 2, tuck your toes, and lift up. Work true north even here when you don't have a floor that you're standing on, and see what the result it creates up through your whole body. If you want, you can now lift your feet up, and see if you can keep the 12 o'clock with your feet, the flexed ankle. 1 more breath in. And lower it all the way down to the floor. Soften. You can wag your tail a little side to side. Get some blood flow back into your low back. Then next, set up for floor bow. Bend your knees. Catch the top of your ankles and flex your feet. So try this. Before you go anywhere, keep your head down. Untuck, unflex your feet. So just let your feet be floppy. And feel that out. So it probably feels easier. It feels like the strap got looser kind of feel. It's easier, but keep your feet floppy, keep them, and kick back. Keep them floppy. So you notice you don't go anywhere, right? There's not enough tension to pull you into the pose. So again, come back down, flex your feet. Feel how it pulls like that invisible rope on the front of your body, taut. Okay, so keep your ankles flexed, now kick back. So as you kick, now you get pulled up. Now you breathe. So that tension holds you up, and as you breathe, you can kind of soften and even out the tension across the front of your body, your belly, your quads, your shins. Take 1 more breath in, and lower it all the way down to the floor. Really good. Press your palms into the sides of your ribs right next to into the floor. Inhale, upward facing dog. Good. Stretch up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Press back. Take a breath in, blow it out. And then drop to your knees, camel pose. We're going to do just one camel pose. Keep your toes tucked. Hands to your bum. Create that tension. So as you set your feet, press down and lift up as much as you can to get as much tension on the front of your body as you can. So it's like you're stretching that strap. Once you have that, then begin to lean back. Beautiful. Use your feet and the squeezing in of your shins as an access to grounding down to create that lift up. Take 2 more breaths. Breathe up into your chest. Last breath in the pose. And then inhale, press down for your shins. Lift your chest all the way up and out. Downward facing dog, press back. Get long from your hands to your hips. Take a breath. Blow it out, look forward. Jump to a seat. Lie onto your back. Bridge pose. Plant your feet. Lift your hips. Lower your hips for a second. Put the block back in there. Put the block between your feet. The wide way. So this way. So everyone at home can kind of see it. It's this way between your feet, as wide as you can get it, and then lift up. Good. Marty, down between your feet if you can make that work. If your feet don't quite touch the block, just like the width doesn't work for you, you need more width, then just use your imagination. Okay, lift up into your bridge. Now feel your feet. Feel that your feet are at 12 o'clock. They're parallel. Feel your big toe mounds press down. Good, Angie, really press your big toes down into the floor. Yeah, heels into the floor. Now squeeze your heels into that block. And as you squeeze, you might notice your big toes pop up or something. Reapply whatever comes undone as you add the next layer. Keep all those true north cues in play and breathe. What could you relax that you can stay connected this way? Beautiful. Now bring your right knee up into your chest. Keep your left foot working. Big toe down, center of the heel down. Heel hugs into center. Kick your right heel up to the ceiling. 1, 2, breathe. 3, good. 4, and 5. Right foot down, butt down. Come all the way down. Take a breath in. Blow it out. I want to do it again. Bridge pose. Come on up and set up your feet. Yeah, the tendency here is to try to do the whole pose from our back. So we just kind of squeeze our back and squeeze our butt and hope for like that to do something. Relax your butt and your low back. It's not the source of the pose. It's your feet. So as you set your feet and press down, your hips are going to come up however high they're ready to come up. You're not going to force anything to go any higher. Cool. Now bring your left knee into your chest. Feels different, right? You're going to feel more space through your back as you get this through your feet. Now kick your left leg up to the ceiling. 5 breaths. You might have to give up, but your hips have to be really, really high up. And your hips might just be a couple inches off the floor. That's okay. Take 2 more breaths. 1 more breath in. And then feet to the floor, butt to the floor. Come all the way down. Get 1 breath. Blow it out. We've got 4 more. It's going to be bridge or wheel. So if it's bridge, go to bridge. Okay, if it's wheel, set your hands deep and wide and press all the way up. In your wheel or bridge, check your feet. Big toes down, check. Heels down, check. Squeeze your heels into center, check. Take 1 more breath in, and then tuck your chin, come all the way down. Got a breath on the floor. Blow it out. You're ready. Number 2, bridge or wheel, set up, and come all the way up. Right? Because you're not married to any height. You're not married to whether your head comes off the floor or not. Bridge is perfect. Take 1 more breath and lower it all the way down to the floor. I gotta get a breath on the floor. 2 to go. Set your hands, set your feet, and then come up, bridge or wheel. You're listening to your body. Work it where your body is ready to work with you. Yeah, and then if you're ready to go, bring your right knee up into your chest wherever you're at. Ground your left foot down. Take your right heel up to the ceiling. 2 more breaths. Work your bottom foot. Last breath in. Right foot down, butt down, come all the way down. You've got 1 more to go. Big breath on the floor. It's 5 breaths of your life. Set your hands, set your feet, and then come up. And it could be 5 breaths that change the whole course of your day. Ground your feet with intention and alignment. Now left knee into your chest. Knee in first gets you a deeper squeeze. Then kick your heel up. Good. 3 breaths. 2 more. Nice, Damien. Last breath in. Foot down, butt down. Come all the way down. Supta Baddha Konasana. Supta Baddha. Feet together, knees wide. Rest your hands on the front of your body. Check in. Feel your heart. Feel your breath. Okay, dead bug pose. Relax your head back. Relax your shoulders back. So that may mean you're catching your thighs. Dan, try catching down lower, like your thighs, yeah, so your head and your shoulders can lie back. Let your spine be long. Let your spine unravel and neutralize after all the back bends. Good. Bring your knees into center. Hug your knees in. And then grab your block. So you're going to stick your block this time skinny between your knees, switching it up a little bit. Skinny ways between your knees. We got that at home. Bring your feet together. So the knees on the block, your feet together to touch. Stack your knees over your hips. So I've heard this called fallen chair. It's like you fell back out of chair pose. It's the same alignment. Cool, you've got that. Palms flat to the top of your knees. Now straighten your arms. So this is going to make sure your thighs are far enough away from you. Hands stay on your knees, and then straighten your arms, push your thighs forward. So your hands, there you go. Cool, but keep them on your knees. There you go. Okay, head back. We're pretty much there. This is the setup. Here's the setup part. Okay, with the inhale now, you're going to squeeze your knees into the block and your feet together as hard as you can. Then exhale, press your palms into your knees and your knees into your palms, pull your belly button down. Inhale, squeeze in. Exhale, press out. Inhale, squeeze in. Exhale, press out. 3 more times. Squeeze in. Press out. Squeeze in. Press out. Last time, squeeze in. Now hold the squeeze in and add the press out. You're doing both things. Hold it for 5. Pull your belly button down. 4, 3, 2, squeeze, press, squeeze, press, squeeze, press, and 1. Hug your knees to your chest. Relax. Good. Keep behind your knees. Rock and roll forward and back 3 times. 1, 2, 3. On the third one, cross your shins, plant your hands, downward facing dog, take it back. Half pigeon on the right side. Try first your feet floppy. Some of you are kind of already there. So back foot is just untucked and floppy. Front foot is kind of floppy. And feel, the pose will feel easier. And now try on, tuck your back toes under. To the best of your ability, flex your front ankle. And that won't be possible for everybody, but put as much alignment through your front foot as you can. And all of a sudden you'll feel that you have some tension up through your legs. And with that tension, hug your feet up through your legs into your pelvis. Feel that you can do that, like you're harnessing your feet back up into the center of your body. And then from the center of your body, can you iron yourself out? Maybe your back heel back a little bit more. I can see Angie's arms moving forward. Maybe even your chest can lift up and move forward a little bit more. And just kind of feel where you're at here now. And then plant your hands, switch sides. So we're discovering like what your feet create in your body, even when they're not what you're standing on. To me, it feels like, have you ever been to like a souvenir shop where they have, I'm thinking of like the, when I was in Disney World, like years and years and years and years and years ago, we went to Epcot Center, you know, they have all the different countries. Went to the French one, France, and they had these little souvenirs where it was the Eiffel Tower. And it was this thing where you pushed a button and the Eiffel Tower got floppy. You know what I mean? Like there's like the strings inside of it. And then you let the button go and it gets taut again. Your feet are like that button. So when your feet are active, the strings are taut and you can stand up tall and you kind of get to determine, you get this really kind of strong, stable, erect way of being. But when your feet turn off, everything kind of gets floppy. In yoga, we can sometimes think the goal is to do the floppy thing, and it's not really that. The goal is, can we let the outer edges soften and this inner line of tension and energy become prominent? Give that one more breath. And then come up to your hands, swing your right leg forward, lie onto your back, grab your strap one more time. Once you lie back, reach your right leg up to the ceiling, strap your right arch, and stretch your left foot for the front of your mat. So this is like a supine seated single leg. Both feet at 12 o'clock. Soften your front knee, your right knee as much as you need to. Now get as tight on that strap as you can. So the strap is taut, your arms are straight. Take a breath in. And then pull your foot towards the floor behind your head. Go until you feel your strap on the back of your right leg fully taut. And then breathe into that space. Can you soften the edges? One more breath. Good. And then release. Hug your right knee into your right chest. And switch sides. Right leg long along the floor. Left foot up. Strap your left arch. And then come up. So a super long, loose strap feels easy, but there's not a whole lot going on. When you've got that strap taut enough and your left leg straight enough and you're fully extended out, you get to experience something interesting going on in your body. And then breathe into that. It's new space. It's a new quality of ease that isn't about being easy. It's about being easeful, even inside of tension. Take one more breath. Good. And then release. Take both legs up into the air. Waterfall or shoulder stand, just a few breaths there. If you want, you could keep the strap around both arches and use the strap as tension in your waterfall. It's kind of a cool thing to feel where like you're really going to press up with your feet against the strap. So feel that tension in your legs and tension in the strap. And you'll feel it's not easy, but it's easeful. You can almost rest in the tension as you really press out and extend through your limbs. Yep, and if you're in shoulder stand or something like that, the same kind of thing. So like Damien, you're really going to press up through your feet as though there were a strap. Yeah. Good. Same thing, Greg. Really press up through your feet so you get that tension all the way across the back of your body, the front of your body. Good. And then Damien and Greg come into plow. If there's anyone at home doing shoulder stand, come into plow. I can see Jen's there. See if you can keep the tension here by pressing your heels to the wall behind you, pressing your seat up to the ceiling, pressing your upper arms down, and then deaf yogi from plow. Bend your knees. Now you let the straps loose, so to speak. Yeah, in waterfall, you could hug your knees down into your chest. Good. Everyone, remove the block, roll it onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest, drop your knees to the right. So here's where the straps really start to get loose. Deep rest. Kind of let your knees flop out to the side. Take your arms wide, relax your shoulders down. And then maybe with using your hands, gather your knees back up through center. Drop your knees over to the left, to your arms, and look to the right. And then come back to center, Supta Baddha Konasana. And so here's where you're letting all that tension go to the best of your ability, melt into the floor, into the mat. And then straighten your legs, Shavasana. There's a cool eye towel in the upper right-hand corner of your mat. If it's not there yet, it's coming. Take your Shavasana, I'll plop it into your hand. Let all the tension go. Stay present as your body, breath by breath, melts down into the floor. Fully at rest, but fully alive at the same time. Fully awake. And then take a deep breath in. Open your mouth, let it go. And gently hug your knees up into your chest. Roll to a side. Press all the way up to a seated position. And once in your seat, press your sitting bones down, reach your arms up, and create as much space between your seat and your hands as you can. Reach all the way up, and exhale, hands to heart center. Touch your thumb knuckles into the center of your chest, and feel that space within, the space that you've cultivated, you've opened, you've stretched, you've warmed, you've awakened. And from that space, from the skin in, your space, set an intention for the rest of your day. And consider it's already there, just waiting for you to call it out. And we'll set that intention and close our practice with 3 ohms. Take a breath in. Put your thumb close to the center of your forehead. Take a deep breath in. Blow it out through your mouth. And together we say, Namaste. Namaste. Great job this morning, everybody. So good to see you. Good work. Good to see you at home. Have a great rest of your day. If you all have any questions about anything, please always feel free. I love that you're drinking. Keep hydrating. That's one of the trickiest things I find about wintertime is I tend to forget how much water I need because it gets so cold outside. But you worked hard this morning. You need the water. Make sure you put it back in. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. You're welcome. You can drop your eye towels in the hampers right outside of the door as you head out. And also, if you borrowed a block or a strap, just drop them on the floor in front of the prop area. I can make sure that they get well cleaned before the next class.